welcome. This is Amhara Media Corporation English Service and you're watching our daily updates. I'm Gaila Damu. Stay with us. The Office of the Prime Minister has extended its appreciation to institutions that supported Dine for Generation initiative. More Domuligi tells us more.
According to a statement posted on Twitter, several institutions have made financial contributions to the Dine for Generation initiative. Among them are the Ethiopian Airlines and the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, which have contributed 1.2 billion birr each, and Ethio Telecom with 1 billion birr. And also Public Servant Social Security Administration, private organizations and Employees Social Security Administration, and the National Bank of Ethiopia have supported with 500 million birr each. In addition, Ethiopian Shipping and Logistics Services Enterprise contributed 200 million birr, Ethiopian Development Bank 150 million birr, and Ethiopian Electric Power and Midrock Investment Group have contributed 100 million birr each. The office thanked the institutions for their contribution to build Ethiopia fit for future generations and accepting the call of Dine for Generation initiative. Recall that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced that 8 Dine for Generation projects will be built across the country.
Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister AMECO stressed the need for Ethiopia and Italy to work closely to bolster long-standing ties on bilateral and multilateral issues of mutual concerns. Fugadi Zaudu has the details.
The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister has conferred with Italian Ambassador to Ethiopia, Agostino Palese. During the occasion, AMECO briefed the ambassador on current affairs with emphasis on the implementation of the peace agreements, the national dialogue process, and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. He also highlighted the humanitarian assistance, rehabilitation, and reconstruction operations. AMECO stressed that Ethiopia and Italy need to work closely to bolster long-standing ties on bilateral and multilateral issues of mutual concern. Ambassador Palese, for his part, said Ethiopia is a linchpin of regional peace and stability. According to Minister of Foreign Affairs, he reaffirmed the commitment of his government to advance multifaceted relations on common issues both at bilateral and multilateral venues.
The Industry and Mining Affairs Standing Committee of the House of People's Representatives urged the Ministry of Mines to develop a strong and transparent system that prevents the increasing illegal activities in the sector. Abeba Burhani has more on it.
Briefing the Industry and Mining Affairs Standing Committee, Mines State Minister Milion Matthews pointed out that the mining sector has been facing bottlenecks. Lack of resources, security problems, and smuggling were among the major challenges raised by him. During the discussion session, the Standing Committee members noted that mining is one of the main sectors that have been highlighted for the economic transition that Ethiopia is making. According to the committee members, corruption, lack of coordination between regional states and the federal government, insufficient monitoring of investors operating in the sector, lack of infrastructure, and organizational gaps are among the major challenges the mining sector has been facing. Mines Minister Habtamu Tagany admitted on his part the existence of gaps in terms of benefiting from gold, iron, cement, geothermal, and other natural resources. He said the absence of a robust operating system and failure to build strong institutions is hampering the proper exploitation and use of the natural resources. Explaining about the efforts being exerted to solve the problems in the sector, he cited and revealed that a very big cement factory would start production in less than a year. Industry and Mining Affairs Standing Committee Chairperson Amhara urged the officials of the ministry to solve the challenges and focus on strategies and procedures that benefit the country. She insisted that the ministry quickly completes the activities it has been carrying out on policy and strategy.
Director of Fishery and Wildlife at Bahar Dar University said that the fish productivity in Lake Tana is reducing due to lack of preservation. Brown Workana has more on it.
Ethiopia has enormous fish resource and the availability of water bodies like rivers, lakes, ponds and reservoirs will make the fish farming productive in the country. In an exclusive interview with AMECO English Messenger program, Dr. Gashau Tlaun, Director of Fisheries and Wildlife at Bahda University, said the fish resource which is found inside Lake Tana is declining time to time. The assistant professor said previously 10,000 metric ton fish has been produced from Lake Tana per year. However, by now the production is reduced to 6,000 tons per year.
Earlier, the production was as such about 10,000 tons per year, and now it is highly decreasing and coming about 6,000 metric tons.
Gashau said the second largest lake in Africa, Lake Tana, has endemic species like tilapia, catfish and leobarbus. The professor said leobarbus is the endemic fish species which is found in the country.
Tilapia, catfish and leobarbus. Among these, 60% of the catch is from tilapia and about 20% is from catfish, and the remaining 2 is from leobarbus. Leobarbus is the indigenous and the endemic fish in the country.
The professor, in his stay with AMECO Messenger program, said water resource, climate condition and geographical conditions are determinant factors for fish farming.
For fish farming, we need water resources. The other is climatic condition, and the other is, the geographical condition that may be comfortable for marketing.
The professor finally said lack of technology and human resource are making the fishing sector not productive.
The technology, the human resource and others are not really available, so that our fish farming is not really in a good condition.
Renewable Energy Solutions for Africa Foundation Policy and Regulations Program Manager Andrea Redizuli said Ethiopia has all the potential of hydro, wind, solar and geothermal to become an energy hub in the Eastern Africa region. Brown Work Anna presents the story.
Really a blessed country in terms of renewable energy potential.
In an exclusive interview with Ina, Renzulli said that Renewable Energy Solutions for Africa is a foundation that works in support of Africa's energy transition in order to achieve the SDG 7, ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all and the private sector investment. Millions of people in Ethiopia still lack access to electricity, he stated, and added, unfortunately, the level of investments is not yet appropriate for the needs of the country. There is a need to expand not only the generation but also the infrastructure to provide universal electricity access to all, but of course, Renduli pointed out and emphasized, with all the potential that Ethiopia has in terms of natural resources, the country has the ability to reach these targets and reach the time frame that the government has set.
We can all agree about it has a huge potential. We all think about the hydro potential, which is very important to the country, but it's not only hydro. Ethiopia has already built, I think, few projects in the wind, showing that there is also wind potential here. Solar, of course, geothermal, biomass. I mean, is really a blessed country in terms of renewable energy potential.
Renzulli stressed Ethiopia has the potential to become an energy hub within the region. The government of Ethiopia has expressed a clear intention to green growth and founding the strategy of the country on the principle of green growth and sustainability energies, he stated, and added they have to support the institutions in achieving these targets. Speaking of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, he said, the hydro potential presents a lot of opportunities for Ethiopia in terms of energy export.
I think we all hope that the dam can become, the Grand Renaissance Dam can become a vehicle of collaboration within the region. What we hope as citizens, and I think as Ethiopians or people who works here, is that the dam can become a vehicle of better integration and better collaboration instead of a vehicle of confrontation.
He expressed hope that the dam could become a symbol of the socio-economic development of the country and the region more generally, stating that countries in the region could also benefit from the potential of the dam. Renduli has also commended Ethiopians for their unwavering support for GERD in terms of funding, public diplomacy and technical aspects, and also for sustaining important projects for socio-economic development of the country. The manager underscored that Ethiopia had the capacity and capabilities to become a great energy exporter within the region, which could benefit all the neighboring countries. He has pointed out that Africa's hydropower resources in general hold considerable potential, noting that these projects require a large initial investment. He added that he believes Africa must continue to invest in hydroelectricity but also diversify its supply and production networks.
Ministry of Health signed a memorandum of understanding with Addis Ababa University and People to People International to establish the first ever international medical professionals testing center in Ethiopia. Bukardi Zaudu has more.
At the event, Minister of Health Lia Tadesse said that Ethiopia has hugely invested on the expansion of medical education during the past 2 decades. Nowadays, the country has prioritized to expand specialization of medical education in the country to further improve the health service. In this regard, she noted establishing medical professional testing center would be considered as a significant step for having competent health practitioners that deserves the 21st century health service. Addis Ababa University will oversee the medical professionals testing center, which is expected to stop sending health professionals abroad for examination. She added Ministry of Health is also working hard on accreditation of medical schools and universities for standardized health system in order to have globally recognized medical schools in the country. Leah also called on the health workers of the country and Ethiopian medical professionals in the diaspora to support the rehabilitation endeavors of the nation in the conflict-affected areas of the country. According to her, in addition to the resource mobilization for the ongoing rehabilitation activities, medical, psychological and social support is vital for victims of the conflict. On his part, founder and president of People to People International, Amhara, stressed the need to focus on medical education in order to improve the health system of the country. He added his organization is maximizing all-round support in many areas of the health sector, including ensuring quality medical education. People to People is a non-governmental, non-profit organization dedicated to improving healthcare and reducing the spread of diseases, particularly in Ethiopia.
You're watching Amhara Media Corporation English Service, and now let's proceed to news beyond borders. According to local media reports, South African pilot is being celebrated for his bravery in making an emergency landing when he discovered a venomous cobra coiled beneath his seat. During a routine flight from Cape Town to Nelspruit on Monday morning, pilot Rudolf Erasmus had to abruptly end the journey due to an unexpected and unsettling sensation on his body. Erasmus shared with the Times Live news website that he felt something cold, prompting him to take immediate action. The pilot said as he turned to his left and looked down, he saw the cobra putting his head down underneath his seat. The bite of a Cape cobra can kill a man in 30 minutes. News 24 website reports South African Civil Aviation Commissioner has hailed Mr. Erasmus as a hero. The pilot was hesitant to inform the passengers as he feared it might cause panic. He managed to make an emergency landing at Welcome. He hopes to fly the plane again on Wednesday. Kenyan President William Ruto has met with his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame to discuss the security situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and the protests in Nairobi. The meeting was part of Ruto's official two-day visit to Kigali on the invitation of President Paul Kagame in what is also the Kenyan leader's first visit to Rwanda since he came to power last September. Ruto, standing alongside Kagame, told reporters that the last month has been a lot of positive developments around the challenge of security in Eastern DRC. According to a statement from the Kenyan State of House in Nairobi, the agenda of the trip is to deliberate on areas of mutual interest and cooperation, including the integration projects on the Northern Corridor, the main supply line for imports out of the region to Rwanda through Kenya. After spending 23 years as the head of state, Kagame has expressed his desire to step down and hand over power to a new leader. Rwandan President Paul Kagame announced that a succession plan is currently under active discussion within the ruling party. He made the statement during a joint press briefing with his Kenyan counterpart William Ruto in Kigali. Mr. Kagame referred to his retirement as an inevitability. Mr. Kagame said he was not necessarily interested in choosing his successor, but rather in creating an environment that would give rise to people who can lead. He said in a report by the BBC that they have been having this discussion within their party since 2010, but circumstances, challenges, and history of Rwanda tend to dictate certain things. He said his retirement was an issue that has to be discussed sooner or later, adding his certainty to join the chairmanship position. He has led the party since 1998. This is Amhara Media Corporation English Service, and now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rates. That's all the news we have for today. I'm Gaila Damu. Thanks for watching and stay tuned with the rest of our programs.